Using any three African texts show how human suffering is exposed. In Lagos, the catastrophe that befalls the people causing suffering and destruction is man-made because the fawn refuses to perform his royal duties. The human suffering would have been averted had he listened to the advice of Sheikh Boyo. Secondly, the women work so hard on the farm to produce food and to feed their families. Unfortunately, cattle destroy their crops and the fawn is not ready to remedy the situation. Thirdly, Sheikh Boyo is subjected to beating and humiliation because he comes to remind the fawn that he has neglected his royal duties of performing sacrifices to the lake god. In A Walk in the Night, suffering is imposed on the blacks community by the apartheid system, which deliberately impoverishes them through the lack of empowerment. They live in shacks, crowded apartments, and many are unemployed. Secondly, many people try to run away from poverty by becoming involved in criminality, gambling, and prostitution in order to earn a living. Thirdly, blacks are subjected to violence, harassment, terror, and can even be hunted and killed like animals, like the case of Willie Boy, who is shot and left to bleed to death in the police van. In across the Mongolo, Kamangolans are subjected to the brutality of Babajoro, who kills them like flies, makes them to disappear, and many are tortured. Secondly, the students at the University of Bisadi have a difficult life, especially as many of them do not have scholarships. Some are forced to bribe in order for their names to be added on the scholarship list. Thirdly, the students who attempt to challenge the order of things at the university are tortured and detained, like the leaders of the Young Anglophone movement to which Ngwe belongs, forcing him to run to the village for his life. In wars of agony, the masses suffer under the dictatorship of their leaders. Those who have contrary views to the leaders are imprisoned or forced to go on exile. They are also reduced to the level of beggars in their countries, whereas the country is so rich because of the greed of their people. In such a way, some of those who have opposing views to the leaders suffer the worst because they are put in prisons where they can never go out and they are deprived of their liberty.